From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
It's Friday, November 6th, and right now on Good Morning Indiana.
Closer to the races, the longer it takes. It's very close in Pennsylvania.
Election workers in battleground states working around the clock as we wait for a winner in the race to the White House. A look at where things stand this morning. COVID-19 cases continue to surge in Indiana.
Our hospitals all our hospitals are stretched really to almost the limits.
Working for you, how local hospitals are dealing with a rise in cases and what that means for frontline workers.
We're trying to find people who are unemployed or even underemployed, so they're not working full-time or they're not working in a high-wage or high-skill demand job.
COVID-19 has left many jobless, forcing them to look for other work and possibly change careers. This morning, the local organization trying to help amid the unemployment crisis. Welcome into Good Morning Indiana here on this Friday. I'm Nicole Griffin in for Lauren Casey and Raphael. Todd has some good news to start off our weekend.
I thought you were going to sing that. I felt like there was a song coming on with that.
Some good.
You know what popped into my mind, Thanksgiving is just a couple of weeks away. So I'm thankful for today, but I'm also thankful that it's TGIF.
Yeah, TGIF is right, and we're looking ahead to the weekend. And what's better than a Friday and a Saturday and a Sunday just on the calendar? A Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with sunshine and temperatures in the 70s. And that's exactly what we have. Skies are clear this morning. No issues out there whatsoever as you take to the roadways and get this day going. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s this morning. 42 the cool spot in Bloomington, 46 in Peru, 50s the current temperature in Muncie. Not much of a wind out there, so no wind chill to factor in for the day today. As the day goes on, a few high thin clouds may spill in from the north, but they'll just be those fair weather clouds. And overall today is just going to feature lots of sunshine, especially the first half of the day where it's completely sunny. Quickly out of the 40s through the 50s into the 60s. By the time we get to the 1 o'clock hour, by 68 degrees. High temperatures today for just about everybody. Nicole should be topping off in the low 70s.
All right, Todd, sounds good. Thank you so much. Here's a live look at traffic here on this Friday morning. This is our INDOT traffic camera at I-465 and Ditch Road there on the north side. No crashes or delays at this hour, but we will continue monitoring traffic throughout the morning. And this morning, the nation is still watching and waiting as key battleground states continue to count final ballots in this historic election cycle.
This all remains in limbo, Nicole. The vote margins for President Trump and Joe Biden are razor thin. Mr. Biden is leading in the popular vote as well as in the Electoral College. Now, while the race is still too close to call, the former vice president is asking supporters to stay calm and to trust the system.
And we continue to feel, Senator and I, we continue to feel very good about where things stand. We have no doubt that when the count is finished, Senator Harris and I will be declared the winners. So I ask everyone to stay calm, all the people to stay calm. The process is working.
At the White House, the president suggesting voter fraud, but at this moment has not provided any evidence.
There's tremendous amount of litigation generally because of how unfair this process was, and I predicted that. I've been talking about mail-in voting for a long time. It's really destroyed our system. It's a corrupt system, and it makes people corrupt even if they aren't by nature, but they become corrupt.
In response to the president's comments, the bipartisan National Council on Election Integrity said, in their own words, that the claims that the president is making are false and baseless, and that the Constitution demands every vote get counted. The council goes on to say that Americans choose their leaders, not the other way around.
As ballot counting continues in places like Georgia, Nevada, and Arizona, votes are still being counted here in the Hoosier State to make sure everyone's vote is tallied. Working for you, we took a look behind the scenes to see how things are going. We spoke to ballot watcher Caroline Ellert. She explained the checks and security measures in place when you see votes being counted.
For counting absentees, it's a bipartisan team that goes through every single ballot. They check signatures. Each person checks each signature. They match that. Then it goes to a different set of bipartisan teams, and they check that the precinct on the ballot matches the precinct on the envelope. And then they check that there are two clerk initials on the back of the ballot.
Caroline says the public should have confidence that any votes being counted here in Indiana or elsewhere are all legitimate because of the security measures in place. County election boards certify results 10 days after the election. Then the state certifies the results. That certification provides the authority to swear in newly elected office holders and how we get official election results.
The time now is 6:06, and several school systems here in Johnson County are changing their schedules in response to the surge of COVID cases in our state. Today will be an e-learning day for all Greenwood middle and high school students. Monday will begin a hybrid learning schedule. Elementary students will not be affected and will remain in the classroom 5 days a week. Franklin Community Schools will move to a phase 2 of their hybrid schedule for the middle school and high school starting Monday. Also starting Monday, Indian Creek Middle and High Schools, Edinburgh Middle and their high schools, and Clark Pleasant Middle School, as well as Whiteland High School, will temporarily move to a hybrid learning model.
Taking a look now at just how high cases are surging in Indiana. For the first time since the start of this pandemic, Indiana is reporting more than 4,000 new COVID-19 cases in a single day. Thursday, state health officials confirmed 4,462 new cases. To date, more than 196,000 coronavirus cases have been confirmed in Indiana. State health officials also report 45 additional deaths. This month alone, 174 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. Overall, 4,269 Hoosiers have died with the virus. Also this morning, a record number of people hospitalized due to COVID-related issues. As of this morning, 1,948 people are in the hospital either with the coronavirus or symptoms that could turn out to be COVID-19. At this hour, only 28.5% of Indiana's ICU beds are available. The spike in COVID cases is impacting the health of Hoosiers and the staffing at local hospitals. WRTV's Kelsey Anderson joins us live with the concerns this morning. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Nicole. So all those numbers you just mentioned, that's a lot. But we have to remember that those numbers, those represent people. And there's also people who are taking care of those coronavirus patients. And here at IU Health, they say that not only are they dealing with an influx of COVID-19 patients, but they're also dealing with a shortage of staff. So we talked to Dr. Mark Luchtenmeyer, and he is the Chief Medical Officer with IU Health Methodist and University Hospitals. He tells us the current state of things is difficult because there seems to be more of a disconnect about the severity of the virus compared to that first wave. Hospitals are also facing staffing shortages while current workers are fatigued.
And that's what I worry about from a burnout and from a wellness standpoint is, we can keep up a pace for a short period of time, much harder to do that over a long run. And this marathon just hasn't stopped. So if you think about the life of a hospital cycles throughout the year. So sometimes you're busy, sometimes you're not as busy. We know respiratory viral season in the wintertime, we're prepared to be busy. But sometimes during the summer months, you have that option to take some time away, to recoup and refresh. We didn't have that opportunity this year.
So Dr. Luchtenmeyer stresses that you can help ease the strain on hospitals and help save lives simply by wearing a mask, social distancing, and avoiding social gatherings. So we know that Governor Holcomb gave his weekly COVID-19 update on Wednesday, and he says as of right now, Indiana will remain in stage 5 of the Open Back Up Indy program. He also says that we are going to have that mask mandate. Right now, it is set to expire on November 14th, but if things stay the way they are right now, it's likely that that will be extended once again. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you so much. Only on WRTV this morning, Dr. Virginia Kane, the top public health leader in Indianapolis, is keeping a close eye on the surging number of coronavirus cases that Kelsey just talked about. Here's her message this morning only on Good Morning Indiana. Dr. Virginia Kane with the Marion County Health Department, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Raphael, for having me.
We are seeing a spike in the number of COVID-19 cases in Marion County, the capital city. The numbers are going in the wrong direction. What is going on?
You're having more individuals from this process going on so long, they're less likely to be wearing their masks or doing their 6 feet social distancing when they're out in public. But we're also starting to see more smaller gatherings. So like within different families, households, so you might have 5 or 10 family members that are coming over. And because they're in such close proximity and they're there for a while, and they're less likely to wear a mask when they're visiting their parents or go visiting an aunt or relatives, we are starting to see more infections that are occurring as a result of that.
Obviously, that we're seeing an unintended consequence. What do we do?
Well, I think it's really tough because, unfortunately, about 40% of our Hoosiers are asymptomatic. They feel great. They don't have any fevers, so they are unaware that they're infected. And so you're less likely to worry about a family member or relative coming into your household or in your social network. You spend a lot of time with different people, but now because our numbers are increasing from a community spread, we really have to, I hate to say this, you may have family dinner and all the relatives come on over Sunday. In order to spend time with folks, we need to really reduce having outside members of our household, prevent them from visiting us. But if they are visiting family members, they need to be wearing masks inside the homes and doing the 6 feet distancing.
So in our next half hour, we talk to Dr. Kane about what to do about the upcoming holidays and how to keep everyone safe. More of our conversation with Dr. Kane coming up around 6:40 on Good Morning Indiana. There are many places around our state right now that you can get COVID-19 testing. You can find a testing location near you. Go to our website, right, WRTV.com, and click on this story under our coronavirus resources section. There you can find the location of testing sites by county. A very easy website to use. Nicole?
Fishers police are investigating a dozen vehicle break-ins and thefts. Coming up, when they happen and how you can help solve these crimes.
As many people continue to struggle with unemployment during this pandemic, one organization is working to get Hoosiers hired. Coming up, how you can take advantage of the job training program. But first, let's check in on your forecast with our Todd Clausen. Good morning, TK.
Yeah, Raphael, good morning to you. We've been enjoying nice temperatures here the past couple days, and it's about to get much warmer as we head into the weekend. The warmest temperature I have in my 7-day planning forecast is 76 degrees. The coolest high temperature I have is 58 degrees. I'll let you know when that transition happens and how we get there with some showers and storms coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
This morning, a little girl is recovering after being shot on the city's northwest side. Police tell us it happened at around 9:45 last night on Oakwood Trail near 71st and Georgetown Road. We are told the girl, who is 6 years old, was taken to Riley Hospital in critical condition. She has since been stabilized and is expected to survive. Investigators tell us they don't believe she was the intended target.
Let's take you to Hamilton County, a crime watch alert following a series of vehicle thefts and break-ins. Fishers police are telling us they responded to 12 thefts from vehicles and 2 reports of stolen vehicles, this on Thursday morning. Now, most of the thefts happened in the Sandstone and the Meadowbrook neighborhoods. That's near 116th Street and Brooks School Road. Detectives are asking residents to look through their home security footage for any suspicious people on their property between the hours of 1 and 4 in the morning. If you have any information or any of that key video, you're being asked to call Fishers Police. The virus is still impacting Hoosier workers and many jobs across our state. For the week ending October the 31st, 13,900 Hoosiers filed for unemployment for the first time. And that's up from the week of October the 24th, when about 13,400 people in Indiana filed for unemployment. Now, for additional perspective, more than 27,000 people in our state have filed for unemployment for the first time in the last 2 weeks alone.
COVID-19 has left many people jobless, forcing them to look for other work and possibly change careers. That is why WRTV's Hiring Hoosiers initiative is more committed than ever to connecting you with opportunities. The Washington Township Adult Education Program is offering free job skills training to any Marion County resident right now impacted by the pandemic. The program serves about 1,800 students a year and offers a range of career training in high-wage, high-demand industries set by the Indiana Department of Workforce Development. They are trying to find people who are unemployed or underemployed to enroll for this session by November 15th.
We're having people who are coming to us from the hospitality industry, the restaurants who are really struggling to get the hours they used to get, and they're deciding to make that change at this point in their life.
Thanks to new funding, if you don't have a high school diploma, the program you can pay for your high school equivalency exam. Plus, they have free classes and tutoring sessions. For more information, just go to hiringhoosiers.com and click on this story. Todd, this weekend compared to last weekend, a huge difference.
Yeah, you know, last Sunday, that's when the cold front came through. It was super windy. The temperatures went from the 50s into the 30s, and then by Monday morning, we were in the 20s. But once we got past Monday morning, the temperatures have been on an upward trend, and that's going to continue all the way into the weekend as we continue this sunny and dry stretch of weather. The forecast is mentioned for the weekend, sunny and 70s. And in fact, by the time we get to Sunday and Monday, we're potentially looking at the possibility of some record high temperatures when you see your 7-day planning forecast in just a minute or two here. The record high for Sunday and Monday, 76 degrees. So we'll show you how close we get. 10 degrees cooler this morning in Peru, 14 degrees cooler in Bloomington, 6 degrees cooler in Indianapolis. Nicole and I were chatting as we walked in how it feels a little bit cooler out there compared to yesterday, and it definitely is. So you'll need a light jacket as you get going this morning, but once the sun comes up, these temperatures, which are in the 40s and 50s, they will start to moderate very, very quickly. As you can see here, by the time we get to 11 a.m., we're already at 61 degrees, and then temperatures will level off in the 70s here by about 4 o'clock, and then we'll start to cool off heading into the weekend with mainly clear sky. There's a little bit of cloud cover to our north, and you can see how it's kind of moving here, and some of that will spill into northern portions of central Indiana this afternoon. And so there may be a period where you go from mostly sunny to partly cloudy, but we remain dry. And look at these high temperatures. Keep in mind that normal high 58 degrees. So we're about 15 degrees above normal in many locations. 73 today in Frankfort, Anderson, a high of 71, 72 here in the metro area, 73 in Martinsville, and southern locations today going into the low 70s as well. It's Friday evening. You may have big plans out on the town, high school football game, or maybe you're just staying home. Temperatures with clear skies in the 50s, and then overnight tonight we drop down to about 46 as you wake up tomorrow morning. But tomorrow's a beautiful day for us, getting up to 70 degrees with lots of sunshine. I mentioned those high temperatures as far as the records go for Sunday and Monday being 76. Sunday, sunny, 75, 76 on Monday. So 2 days here could potentially tie or break the record highs, both set back in 1999. Tuesday's the day the front comes through. Should get to 74 before that cold front arrives, but as it comes through, some showers and thunderstorms a possibility, followed by more seasonable temperatures, Nicole, by the middle of next week.
All right, Todd, thank you. We do have a live look right now from the west side. This is the scene of an accident at Lyndhurst Drive and Southern Avenue. That is just south of Airport Expressway. Our photojournalist Shay Goodpaster is on the scene right now, where you can see a vehicle has flipped over onto its roof. The good news is that Shay tells us there don't appear to be any serious injuries here in this crash scene. But if you typically drive in this area, you might run into some delays while they work to clean up this area. Raphael.
Nicole and Shay, keep us posted on that. It was back in March. Remember that, when cleaning supplies started disappearing in the initial pandemic panic? Ahead on Good Morning Indiana, consumer reporter John Matarese looks into the latest product shortages so you don't waste your money. And a big good morning to Liston, Lawrence, and Lebanon, all great places to call home. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on this Friday right here on WRTV.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Time now to take a look at the stories trending now at 6 o'clock.
So, Nicole, here in the living room, the official Wrtv living room, I have the Game of Life, I have Clue, I have Monopoly, I have Pac-Man, I have an Atari, but none of those made it to this top level. So 3 iconic toys have been inducted into the Toy Hall of Fame. That includes Baby Nancy, the first black doll to have an afro and dark skin. The groundbreaking doll was launched nationwide back in 1968. Then there's the Sidewalk Chalk, which keeps, of course, Lauren and baby Archie really busy. That was inducted. And of course, last but not least, Jenga. Why don't I have a Jenga game here? Yeah, according to the manufacturer, the wooden block game was created in Ghana in the 1970s. And fun fact, the record for the highest known Jenga tower is 40 complete stories.
Wow.
That is one tall Jenga set right there.
All right, Ralph.
Nicole, I can use a Jenga set for Christmas.
Okay, I got you. Writing it down now. Well, hey, take a look at this. In Kentucky, politics have gone to the dogs. Wilbur, the French Bulldog, is the newly elected mayor of Rabbit Hash, Kentucky. He edged out a fierce field of renowned rivals, including Smokey the Rooster and, get this, Stella the Fat Cat. The town has reportedly elected a dog mayor every 4 years since the 1990s. Residents cast their vote by donating to the local historical society. Wilbur will follow in the four-legged footsteps of his predecessor, former mayor Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, I get it. But I get it. Kevin's Rory, his dog, or maybe Amanda's Leo, or maybe Mark's Bishop. Maybe the next time they can give that dog a run for his money. We'll see.
I think Leo would win.
I think Leo may win. Let's call Amanda up on that one. On this Friday, it is time to enjoy the fall foliage. This picture from George Hoffman. As we continue to smile about that election, we elect to see a beautiful view of this neighborhood. And Todd, I foresee, based on what I'm seeing there, not only moment, but also a hey, we may need to break out the rakes and help out with the leaves that are going to fall here shortly as we'll continue to show you all the seasonal changes happening in central Indiana. Todd, it's going to be a great weekend.
Yeah, it really is. And I know nobody likes doing leaves, or most people don't like doing leaves, but really take this opportunity maybe to do some yard work and get them up, because as we go forward in this forecast, we are definitely going to see some rain and cooler temperatures after the weekend. So you have until then. It's a little on the cool side this morning, 30s, 40s, and 50s, depending on where you live. Light jackets needed, but here's where we're going for high temperatures later on this afternoon. That picture, well, not current, from Brown County State Park. That'll be a great place to be today or through the weekend, or maybe McCormick's Creek or Mound State Park. Anywhere you go here across central Indiana, Spring Mill, good opportunity to get out and about, enjoy some nature and some outdoor exercise here throughout the day. Today, temperatures will be in the 70s, even warmer as we head into Sunday and Monday. More on your extended forecast coming up in just a few minutes, Nicole.
All right, Todd, thank you. It is now 8 months since panic buying cleared store shelves of cleaning products. Many of them are back, but now so many other items are seemingly impossible to find. Consumer reporter John Matarese looks into the latest product shortages so you don't waste your money.
It was way back in March when cleaning supplies started disappearing during the initial pandemic panic. But now, months later, many items are still in short supply. Remember the run on toilet paper? Now stores seem to have too much, but shoppers remain frustrated by other shortages.
Sometimes bleach, paper towels.
Well, that's it. The Clorox wipes we couldn't find.
So our list of the top products still in short supply begins with 1, Lysol and Clorox wipes and other bathroom cleaners. With hospitals and schools snapping them up, grocery shoppers will be the last to get them for a while. 2, paper towels. The Wall Street Journal says manufacturers have not increased production as they have for toilet paper. 3, bicycles. Shopper Beth Tessler was stunned to find bikes sold out from Target to independent shops.
The cheapest bike we found right now is like $2,000.
4, appliances. 5, swimming pools. Stay-at-home orders had homeowners grabbing every pool in sight. They hope to restock this winter. 6, laptops for online learning. Stores predict shortages should ease, though, by Black Friday. And 7, coins. People have been hoarding and not spending them, a real problem for laundromats.
Our customers use quarters to run these machines.
And with more people growing their own vegetables and baking, that's led to shortages of 8, yeast and baking flour, and 9, an uncanny shortage of canning jars and lids. Finally, aluminum cans for beer and Coke, because we're drinking at home instead of in bars. That's why we might be seeing more bottles and fewer cans in the beer aisle this fall. As always, don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Friday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. A little girl in the hospital after being shot on the northwest side of Indianapolis. Police tell us it happened around 9:45 Thursday night on Oakwood Trail near 71st and Georgetown Road. The 6-year-old was taken to Riley Hospital for Children in critical condition. She is expected to survive. Investigators say the girl was not the intended target of that shooting.
Police are trying to figure out who stole limited edition guitars stolen off a delivery truck in Whiteland. 13 of these new Gibson Adam Jones 1979 Les Paul custom silver bust guitars were taken from a truck at the Flying J Travel Center last week. They are valued at $95,000. The truck was headed to Sweetwater in Fort Wayne. Investigators believe the guitars were targeted and not randomly stolen.
The Indianapolis Colts are in the process of contact tracing after a staff member tested positive for COVID-19. The staff member is now in self-quarantine and under the care of doctors. A walkthrough workout took place at the Colts complex, but meetings will held virtually away from the facility. The Colts are still scheduled to play the Ravens from Baltimore Sunday at Lucas Oil Stadium. A big fan of the Colts, Nicole. A big fan of the upcoming weather this weekend. Welcome to Good Morning Indiana on this Friday.
Yeah, big fan of the Colts. And Todd, you may have some good news for those fans. If they're heading to the game, roof may be open this weekend.
You know, I would expect it to be open with temperatures in the 70s and sunshine. I say no weather-related issues why they shouldn't have it open, but obviously I don't make that decision. But outside right now, we are dealing with the sun starting to brighten the horizon. We've had a string of beautiful sunrises here. I've been posting them on my Facebook page, and today should be a real nice one as well, as the skies again just starting to brighten. Sunrise officially a little after 7 o'clock. We're in the 40s here this morning with a mainly clear sky. 49 in Lafayette, 42 is the current temperature in Bloomington. Throughout the day, there'll be a few fair weather clouds at times that start to drift into the area. But overall, we are looking at mostly sunny skies and temperatures that are going to warm very, very quickly here this morning out of the 40s. And we kind of jump right through the 50s, even quicker into the 60s by 11 a.m. And then temperatures will level off in the 70s later on this afternoon, making for a very, very pleasant Friday. The weekend's even warmer and just as bright. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you. Here's a live look now from the west side. This is the scene of a crash at Lyndhurst Drive and Southern Avenue. That is just south of Airport Expressway. Our photojournalist Shay Goodpaster is on the scene here, and you can see this vehicle is on its roof. The good news is that Shay tells us there do not appear to be any serious injuries, but if you typically drive here in this area, you might run into some delays while they work to clear up this crash scene. Raphael.
This morning, Wrtv investigates uncovering a scam targeting your Medicare dollars and, of course, your peace of mind. When Nick Spurgidis of Bloomington's phone rang, the caller on the other side said they were from Medicare. Nick isn't on Medicare and hung up the phone. But he says the caller was convincing, asking for his personal information like his Medicare number and Social Security number. It's a scam the Federal Trade Commission says is on the rise, targeting your Medicare dollars and personal information. Senior Medicare Patrol in Indiana says they're getting a lot of complaints as well.
The call that you get will typically start with a pre-recorded message saying that you are eligible for a free or low-cost back or knee brace under Medicare.
Anna Miller in Oklahoma received a back brace, shoulder brace, and a couple other pieces of medical equipment, even though she never ordered them. And the worst part, the cost of the back brace charged to her Medicare account. Just a reminder, if someone calls and says they're with Medicare and offers you a free or a low-cost brace, hang up right away. Medicare will never call you with such an offer.
A 13-year-old boy from Logansport is fighting for his life after being hit by a train. Police say the boy was walking along the tracks as a train approached. The boy got off the tracks and was in the ballast area and was hit by an unknown object. Officers say the boy was awake when medics arrived and he was flown to Riley Hospital for Children. At last check, he was listed in critical condition. New video shows what happened before and after a man was shot in the arm by Impd officers. It happened in September on the city's east side. Metro Police released this video showing exactly what led up to the shooting and how officers handled it. You can see two people fire at each other as officers walk up. Police say responding officers believed he was shooting at them, so they returned fire, hitting the man in the arm. The chief says releasing this video is an effort to increase transparency and build trust with the community.
I don't like the community to wonder about what the department is doing and what the officers are doing. And I think in this one, they'll see the danger of the job, how quickly things can happen, how quickly the officers got on top of that situation, and then lastly, how quickly they started giving first aid.
Two people are facing charges in this case, and this morning the officer who fired his weapon is still on administrative leave as this case is reviewed.
The holidays are quickly approaching and the pandemic isn't slowing down. Coming up, and only on WRTV, Dr. Virginia Kane on how you should plan for your holiday festivities.
Plus, the growing number of coronavirus cases is having an impact on Indiana's hospitals. Still ahead, we're checking in with health leaders on how they are dealing with a surge in cases. It's 6:36. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Our state yet again hitting a record number in new COVID-19 cases. Here are the latest figures. State health officials report nearly 4,500 new coronavirus cases reported on Thursday. Since the pandemic began, more than 196,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. Right now, let's break down that situation by looking at the impact on Hoosiers by age. The state data shows more than 19% of cases are in Hoosiers between the ages of 20 and 29 years old. 45 more Hoosiers have died with the virus. Thursday marked the third day in the past week that cases have topped 45 deaths in Indiana. Since March, nearly 4,300 Hoosiers have died with the virus.
The recent tidal wave of COVID cases in our state is impacting the health of Hoosiers and staffing at local hospitals. WRTV's Kelsey Anderson is live now this morning with the latest COVID concerns. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Nicole. So we all have COVID-19 fatigue, but for hospital workers, they're not getting that break that some of us get when we go home. They are working with these patients daily. When they go home, they have to self-quarantine with their families because of their job. And then they're also having to have those difficult conversations with patients and their families when they're not going to beat the virus. So we spoke to Dr. Mark Lucketmeyer, and he's the Chief Medical Officer with IU Health, Methodist, and University Hospitals. He tells us the current state of things is difficult because there seems to be more of a disconnect about the severity of the virus compared to the first wave. Hospitals are also facing staffing shortages while current workers are fatigued.
The care of a COVID patient requires a lot more resources from a time, from an energy, from a mental standpoint. You got to stay sharp with your protective equipment and making sure you're protecting yourself at all times. It's also still distressful to see patients die and know that you really can't do much about it. These patients are dying alone in the hospital at times, which is very difficult for our staff. There's a lot of tough conversations that we have to have.
Dr. Lucketmeyer stresses that you can help ease the strain on hospitals and help save lives simply by wearing a mask, social distancing, and avoiding social gatherings. So as of right now, and according to the governor in his press conference on Wednesday, we are going to remain in stage 5 for now, and the mask mandate is still in place until November 14th. But it's likely if things continue the way they are right now, that mask mandate will be continued once again, and we'll know more of that, of course, each week when the governor gives his updates on Wednesdays. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you so much. Only on WRTV this morning, an urgent call to celebrate the upcoming traditional holidays in a safe way. Dr. Virginia Kane with the Marion County Health Department is asking you to think about how you will gather this year.
People will be roasting that turkey, baking that ham. I can already smell the pumpkin pie. And then in a couple of weeks, the Christmas tree is going up. We want to bring everyone over to celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa. But will we have to do that with less family members, or if we invite them over with a mask?
Yes, so Raphael, I think we really have to look at that very carefully. And I think we're going to be going to the direction where we have to have less people celebrating our Thanksgiving with us, Hanukkah, or any other social gathering or event that we traditionally do. But I think we're going to have to be very careful about that, especially if we have family members that are way off in school and they're returning. My concern related to them as well. And should those individuals be tested if they've been away at another state and they're now coming to celebrate the holidays? Should they be screened early coming into the household?
But if I see this interview and I say, oh, that Dr. Kane, nice lady, is working hard, but these high numbers are really happening in the urban centers. I'm okay here in the suburbs. What is your message to those people who may think that?
We're starting to see significant increases in our smaller rural populations. So it doesn't discriminate, unfortunately, COVID-19. So you really have to be careful. No matter what your population size, you can be at risk.
Dr. Virginia Kane with the Marion County Health Department, thank you so much for joining us.
Get more testing out there. Protect your loved ones. You don't have to have any symptoms to get testing.
And get that flu shot, right?
That's exactly right.
All right. Thank you there, Raphael and Dr. Kane. Temperatures on average this time of year should be right around 58 degrees. We've been running well above that. And here's the good news as we head into the weekend. Temperatures will continue to run well above that average high of 58. We're in the 70s at least through Tuesday. And then the cold front comes through. We'll talk all about this. A great forecast for you coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. We want to show you a live look back out at the west side now. This is the scene of a crash at Lyndhurst Drive and Southern Avenue. That is just south of Airport Expressway. Our photojournalist Shay Goodpasser is on the scene here where you can see a tow truck is now trying to remove that vehicle that originally flipped over there. They're working to clean up all the debris from the road, so that scene should be cleared soon. Raphael.
Go slow in that area. Nicole, thank you so much. Now to our Democracy 2020 coverage this morning. We are still all waiting to learn who will be the next president. ABC News projects that President Trump with 214 electoral college votes. At this hour, former Vice President Joe Biden is projected to have 253 electoral votes. New overnight, Mr. Biden taking a slight lead in Georgia, a state which President Trump won back in 2016. However, at this hour, ABC News has not called this critical race. In addition to Georgia, votes are still being counted in North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Nevada, and Arizona. New numbers are expected from Nevada and Pennsylvania later this morning.
Social media giants Facebook and Twitter continue to keep tabs on election misinformation. Twitter continues to label misleading tweets, including from President Trump when he claimed to win the election. Twitter is limiting how information can be shared by removing replies and likes. Facebook did not restrict how posts can be shared or viewed, but did make an effort to label misinformation. Now to your forecast here on this Friday. And Todd, you have another nice sunrise there behind you.
Yeah, the sky's starting to brighten here all across the area as you look from IMS back towards downtown Indianapolis. A little high thin cloud cover out there, but otherwise we are in terrific shape once again as we get this Friday going, the end of the work week. And the best part about this forecast is not only today, but as we head into the weekend, temperatures will continue to warm. In fact, close to record high temperatures by the end of the weekend. 46 36 right now, just a light wind out of the south at 5 miles per hour. And temperatures range from 39 in some of the outlying areas in Richmond as well as Greencastle to 42 in Bloomington, 46 in Greenfield, as well as the Peru area. So everybody's within a couple degrees of each other, but everybody's going to warm very, very quickly here throughout the course of the day today. Sunshine into the 50s by 10 a.m., into the 60s already by 11 a.m. as we transition into the noon hour, 65 degrees. Should hit 70 by about 2 o'clock, and then we'll stay in the low 70s throughout much of the afternoon. And as the sun starts to set, we'll slowly cool back off into the 60s. So really just another terrific day for us across the area. A few clouds will spill in here from the north as the day goes on, but nothing really to worry about. No threat of any precipitation in the forecast really until late in the day Tuesday. This evening, high school football games, you're just fine. Temperatures go from the 60s into the 50s with sunset officially at 5:38 here this evening. And then as you wake up on your Saturday morning, heading to the farmers market. I know the winter farmers market at the Circle City Industrial Building in downtown Indianapolis, that kicks off here this weekend and goes all the way through the winter. And I'm sure there's others around there in your neighborhoods as well. You'll need the jacket Saturday morning with temperatures in the 40s. And then for the weekend, Saturday 72 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Sunday, look at this, 75 degrees with lots of sunshine. The record high on Sunday, 76 degrees. So we get very, very close to that. But look what happens when we expand this forecast out and go into next week. The record high on Monday is 76. Could tie that, and we do it set back in 1999, so it's stood for quite a while. Tuesday, potentially a record as well. It's all going to depend on the timing of the cold front coming through on Tuesday. Right now, cold front looks like it comes through pretty late, and then much cooler weather on Wednesday, back down to 58. 58, though, seasonable. We've just been very spoiled with these very warm temperatures. Here's the cold front placement on Tuesday at 7 p.m. So most of your Tuesday is going to be dry. Again, this is a ways off, obviously, so the timing may change a little bit, but the front will come through with a round of showers, maybe some thunderstorms. A couple showers could linger into Wednesday morning, but overall, Wednesday should be mainly a dry day. Again, just transitioning to much cooler weather, but what a stretch of beautiful weather for us for the weekend here in November, Nicole, with sunshine and temperatures in the 70s.
I love that forecast. Thank you so much, Todd. Well, here's a live look at traffic right now. This is I-70 west of Mount Comfort Road there in Hancock County. They do have alternating lane closures in the eastbound lanes between State Road 9 and Mount Comfort Road. That is due to construction in the area, so you'll want to watch out for some slight delays in this area in Hancock County. Good News Friday is coming up next. Stay with us. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on Wrtv. A long work week is almost in the books, and the weekend, Raphael, is in sight.
So listen, we want to wrap up this week with a big dose of positivity. We call it here on Good Morning Indiana, Good News Friday. So let's head out east on I-70 to Ohio. A single foster dad in Ohio is now the father to 5 siblings. Check this out. Robert Carter adopted all of them because he says he did not want to see them separated since he knows how that feels. When he was 12 years old, Robert was placed into foster care and did not see his siblings 4 years. What a great way to keep a family together. Love that.
Love that story too. Good to see. Well, 2 words from a protective parrot saves a man's life in Australia. Anton bolted from bed after his parrot started squawking, Anton, Anton, just after 2 a.m. And when the bird's owner woke up, his apartment building was on fire. Firefighters say the bird named Eric alerted Anton before the smoke alarm even went off. Both Eric and Anton were not injured in the fire. Eric is a little hero.
I'm getting a parrot. And a smoke detector. A smoke detector. A former NFL quarterback and current minor league baseball player Tim Tebow is giving back. Tebow was visiting a homeless shelter in Phoenix when he told staff that he wanted to visit guests and those living on the streets. Now, during his visit, Tebow gave away 50 pairs of shoes. Now, as that visit just wrapped up, there were some people left without shoes, and that's when Tebow took the shoes off his own feet and gave them to a man on his way out. That is what we call good work. Good people right there.
Well, congratulations are in order for IndyCar's own Graham Rahal. Rahal posting on Twitter he's now a girl dad. Rahal's wife, Courtney Force, gave birth to a baby girl. Look at that. The IndyCar driver says Harlan Ann Rahal was born early Monday morning. Both mom and baby are said to be doing well. Congratulations to Graham and Courtney.
Congratulations to them. So Todd Clausen, I want you to check out my form because I really want to be your caddy. I mean, do I have the swing? I mean, how does that look? I've been practicing in the living room all morning long because I want to go out with you this weekend and just enjoy the sunshine.
As long as you give me the correct yardage, we'll be all good there, Raphael. The swing looks good, though. But, yeah, great opportunity to get out and about and golf. I was out at Eagle Creek earlier this week. Course is in great shape here with the nice weather that we have out there, and almost all the leaves are down and blown off the fairways. Great weather for the weekend. Get out there and enjoy. Highs in the 70s, lots of sunshine.
All right, Todd, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us. We're back in 25 minutes with more news and weather.